For those that don't know, in the early 2000s, Steve Nash won back-to-back MVP titles, which puts him in very rare company in the NBA. And in the first season that Steve Nash won the NBA MVP, he actually only led the league in 2 statistical categories. The first would be assists. He liked to share the sugar, he liked to pass the pill, he liked to get other people involved. Certainly the trait of a great leader and a great teammate. But you know the other statistic that Steve Nash led the NBA in? Was actually physical touches. I'm talking about literally high fives, fist bumps, and pats on the backside. Now you're probably wondering, how could I know that Steve Nash led the NBA in high fives, fist bumps, and pats on the backside? Well, it just so happens there was a research team from UC Berkeley, and they were conducting an official study because they wanted to measure if showing signs of physical enthusiasm actually led to more wins on the court. So they hired a team of researchers to watch every minute of every NBA game and make a tally mark every time a player gave a high five, a fist bump, or a pat on the backside. Well, the Phoenix Suns, who Steve Nash played for at the time, were so enamored with this study that they hired a full-time intern to count just for Steve Nash. Just by show of hands, how many of you have ever had a crappy entry-level job before? Yeah, can you imagine if that was your very first job? Yeah, you see this guy here? Every time he touches one of these big, tall, sweaty guys, if you could please make a tally mark. In the first game that the intern counted for Steve Nash, he delivered 239 high fives, fist bumps, and pats on the backside. He was a furnace of human connection. Now, in the game of basketball, where physicality is appropriate, it has been physiologically proven you can transfer energy to another human being through physical touch. You can indeed raise someone's game with a well-placed high five, fist bump, and pat on the backside. Just to make sure I'm clear and HR compliant, I'm not telling you guys to go patting each other on the backside when you guys go to your breakout sessions. Here's what I am telling you to do. Get crystal clear on innovative ways that you can make the same type of emotional deposit to the 2 professional groups that should mean the most to you. And that is those on your team and the communities you serve. And I want you to get crystal clear on ways that you can add extra value, supplemental value, additional value to give an emotional deposit to the 2 professional groups that should mean the most to you. Those on your team and those that you serve. And if you're up for a challenge, here's one. It's called 10 assists. Every single morning when you wake up, you put 10 rubber bands on your left wrist. Every time you give an assist to either someone on your team or a member of the communities that you serve, you take 1 rubber band off of your left wrist and you put it on your right wrist. And an assist is anything you do that goes above and beyond what you're expected to do. This is not part of your job description or part of your role. This is in addition to, this is supplemental. And every time you add extra value to someone on your team or someone that you serve, it's an assist and you move 1 rubber band from the left wrist to the right wrist. But here's the deal. Your workday's not over until all 10 rubber bands are on your right wrist. Until you know for a fact that you personally have done nothing short of 10 tangible things to add extra value to the 2 professional groups that should mean the most to you. Those in your team and those that you serve. And if you can make that contagious with everybody on your team, I'm telling you, you will see performance, you will see productivity, you'll see cohesion, collaboration, everything will skyrocket immediately.